This is the first part of our ethics series. And today we're just going to keep it light. We're going to do an introduction to the NASW Code of Ethics. I'm going to give you some of the main points that you must know for the exam and just as being a professional in the social work field. If you have any questions or some things that you would like to know or expand upon this section, please hit me up in the comment section. Before I roll into this presentation, please make sure you like, please make sure you subscribe and share with another human being to make their life greater, especially if they're a social worker. So today we're going to go over the overview of the NASW Code of Ethics and its importance in the social work practice. So that's it. We're just going to go over overview of the ethics, and I'm going to explain to you why it's important that we utilize and have knowledge of the Code of Ethics as social workers. So the NASW Code of Ethics is the foundation of our professional social work practice. It's our guide. It helps not only protect us, but also our clients. And it makes sure that as professionals, we align with our core social work values. So today I'm going to dive into a little bit more on the purpose and the history of the code and why it is essential in our everyday practice as social workers. Let's talk about why the code exists. First, there are three major purposes. So get your pen and your paper down, jot them down, take some quick notes, and write down three major purposes of the Code of Ethics. Number one, it sets a clear standard for ethical behavior. Number two, it helps us resolve ethical dilemmas. You know, we face with a lot of that, guys, in our profession. And last but not least, it ensures public trust in the profession. So this means it allows the general public, those that are working with social workers, to feel trust when it comes to our profession, to know that they are working with good people and that we have to adhere to a certain code. So we're providing the best services to them and we have their best interests at hand. Overall, the Code of Ethics is pretty much our blueprint for making decisions as a social worker. Who does the NASW Code of Ethics apply to? It doesn't matter if you're a student. It doesn't matter if you're a practitioner. It doesn't matter if you're a supervisor. It doesn't matter if you're a professor. If you are a social worker, the Code of Ethics applies to all of us. It is our professional guidebook. Let's look at the core values of social work. This is another note-taking point. These are the values of social work, and there are 6 of them. Number one, our primary goal is to help people in need. So the core value there is service, and that is to help people in need. Number 2, social justice. We work to challenge injustice, particularly for vulnerable populations. Vulnerable populations, children, the elderly, LGBT, populations that are normally taken advantage of. We help to make sure that they have justice, and we challenge situations when there is injustice found. Number 3, dignity and worth of a person. We believe as social workers that every person deserves respect. It doesn't matter their race, religion, their background, their financial situation. They are people. And we believe as individuals, they have dignity and they have worth. Number 4, the importance of human relationships. As social workers, we want to build strong, healthy relationships with our clients and those in the community. This is very, very important to us as a profession. Number 5, integrity. We must act honestly and responsibly. I remember when my son was about maybe 9 or 10, and I was trying to explain to him the importance of having integrity. And how I explained it to him at that age is that integrity is basically doing the right thing even when no one else is looking. So although in our profession, we can do things that no one will ever find out about, and we can get away with it. One of the core values of being a social worker is that we have integrity, meaning it doesn't matter who saw, it doesn't matter who will find out. We must always act honestly and responsibly. And last but not least, the 6th core value is competence. Super important. You guys are about to become LMSWs or LCSWs. So you must be competent in certain areas that you choose to practice in. If you're going to work with certain populations, if you're going to complete assessments, if you're going to run a business, if you're going to open up your own practice, you must continuously strive to improve your skills so you can remain competent in whichever area you choose to practice in. So to recap, guys, the 6 core values: service, social justice, dignity, and worth of a person, the importance of human relationships, integrity, and competence are the values that shape our professions as social workers. Let's move on to the third slide, which we're going to talk about the history of the NASW Code of Ethics. Just a quick fact: the Code of Ethics was adopted in 1960. So we're looking at less than 100 years that our social work profession has had a Code of Ethics. It is called the NASW Code of Ethics, and that is the National Association of Social Workers. That is our Code of Ethics. And as a profession, we have evolved. The Code of Ethics not only reflects societal changes, but also challenges that we face as social workers. The most recent update was made in 2021, and those adjustments reflected technology and social work practice. And that is hella important because with technology, guys, 100 years ago, 50 years ago, we didn't have to worry about social media. There was no Facebook where clients were trying to friend you. There wasn't an Instagram where you have clients sending you messages in your DM. So it's really important that we understand that the Code of Ethics has evolved as we have evolved as a people and as a profession. Last section: why the code is essential. So although we went over just the introduction of the Code of Ethics and the core values and why we have it, you must understand the practical benefits of why we have it. The Code of Ethics ensures that we make decisions that aren't just good and nice because we're wonderful people as social workers, but that we're ethically sound. It protects the social worker and the client and helps us avoid legal issues, making sure that people's rights are respected. That is just the practical way of letting you know how the Code of Ethics benefits us. So without a guide like the code, there's a lot of gray areas as social workers we just would not know how to deal with. We would get lots of different opinions from different people and how they think we should do a thing. But with the Code of Ethics, it helps us balance those things. We get to balance confidentiality with some safety concerns and also handle conflicts whenever they arise. And last but not least, I want to give you guys a scenario or a case study to think about. We're not going to review it today, but I want you to just give it some thought and think about it. And in the next video, yes, like I told you guys, it's a series. We're going to talk a little bit about it when we start. Or if you're currently in supervision, you can process it with your supervisor. If you're one of my supervisees, we can process it in our supervision times. Be mindful of who you process this with. Make sure they're a social worker and someone that has some knowledge base. Even your peers, just be able to kind of process this and tell me what you think, or you can just tell me your thoughts in the comment section. That'd be dope. Put it in the comment section because you know your girl wants to interact and respond with you guys. So if you put it in the comment section, I'll be more than happy to respond and we can have an active dialogue there. Case study scenario. Let's say a client reveals something that may pose a danger to others, but asks you not to tell anyone. How do you handle that? So think about it. I want you to explore that question. And in the upcoming videos, or like I said in the comment section, we can reflect on how the code helps us when it comes to making this decision. I hope this training was super helpful for you. Please make sure you pay attention and you're ready for the next part where we're going to go over confidentiality and some other aspects, confidentiality and privacy as it pertains to the Code of Ethics. So it's going to be really important that you understand this and know this because remember, like I said, when it comes to the exam, put ethics first. You're looking at least almost 20% of the exam being on ethics. So we got like 30 something questions on ethics just in the LCSW exam alone. So make sure you're prepared, make sure you study, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And I look forward to continuously working with you at LCSW Vibes. Be blessed until the next one. Have an amazing day and make sure you do so on purpose.